Jonikas, myrealtorkerri.com. Thanks for coming back for week 2 to find out why my house didn't sell and to receive a few tips. I'm going to give you 3 tips on some buyers' feedback and how to address that. So some of the common feedback that I receive is, number 1, my house is too small. I know you're probably thinking, what am I going to do? My house is too small. I can't build an addition. That would cost too much, and I'm not doing that. Get it? Sometimes there really is nothing that you can do. But if we've properly staged your home, hopefully you wouldn't have to make any adjustments. But sometimes, even when we have staged your home and we hear additional feedback, there are some other adjustments that you can make. I don't usually recommend making huge changes in the beginning until we start receiving some feedback. But one thing that you can do, say you have a really big couch in your family room. It's where you spend most of your time with your family. You guys watch TV. You need that space. But yet your living room you really don't use and you have a smaller couch. You can flip-flop those couches. I know what you're thinking. I can't do that. Where are we going to sit? We're watching TV. What are we going to do? You can make adjustments. You're trying to sell your home. I promise you, you will be okay. You can get a beanbag chair. You can sit on the floor in the beanbag chair. You can grab a chair from the kitchen. You can sit and watch there. Is it comfortable? No. But you're selling your home. And if it means you are going to sell your home quicker, would you make the adjustment? Probably, because it's not costing you anything. You don't have to go and spend a ton of money, but yet a simple change like that could make a huge, huge difference. The next thing that I receive all of the time is there's an odor in the home. The seller had made a really strong garlicky dinner the night before, had a showing the next day, and the scent is stuck in the home. After you make a dinner, if there is a scent lingering in the home, you might not even think that there's a scent lingering. Go outside and come back. If you still smell it, that scent is still in your home and you need to do something about it. So you can take a pot of water, add lemon peel and orange peels, and maybe even a little bit of cinnamon, and boil it on your stovetop. You can boil it for about a half hour to an hour. Make sure you are watching it so it doesn't burn, but this will help remove the odor in the air. The next thing that I recommend as far as odor, please do not use plug-in wall outlets. They are overpowering sometimes, and they really have they give the notion that you're trying to cover something up, as opposed to, wow, it's really clean and fresh in here. The top scent in real estate is lemon oil. Get yourself some lemon essential oil. You're going to take a rag with a wet rag, put a little bit of lemon essential oil on it, and wipe down all of your hard surfaces. This is going to help tremendously. It gives a clean, fresh scent, and it gets in the buyer's mind that, wow, this house is really clean, really fresh, and move-in ready, because just from the wiping down of the counters and your hard surfaces. It really helps a lot. The next feedback that I get a lot of is that they don't like the yard, or the yard is too small. Again, there's not anything that you can do about your yard. You can't make it bigger, but there are some things that you can do to help the buyer visualize where they could put their family or their furniture or things in the yard. You can line the lot with trees. Again, yes, this would cost some money. However, it is something that you can do that could potentially bring a return on your investment. I don't recommend putting in an entire line of lining your entire lot, but putting a few trees at each point of where your lot starts and ends can help the buyer visualize. If you have a patio, the best thing that you can do is to really upsell that patio. Bright potted colored flowers. If you have a table, a table setting, or an additional flowers on the table with bright flowers, a comfy chair, just to make it look like a little oasis out there. You want a little space that they can, well, if the rest of the yard is not up to par, but this spot is just really cozy and comfy, and I can see my family here. That would be the best thing that you can do. I hope that these 3 tips helped you. I would love to discuss your buyer's feedback with you and tell you what you could or should not do to address that buyer's feedback. Again, like I said, sometimes you can't address that feedback, but it is a good idea to listen to the feedback, and if you can address it, you should address it. Now, there's sometimes that you can't, and that's okay, but you should try, even though sometimes you think like, you know, your house is too small. You wouldn't think that you would be able to make adjustments there, but you can't. You might be able to. So let's talk about that. Either give me a call or send me a text, 708-268-0462, or you can find me on my website at myrealtorkerri.com. Make it a great day.